You know what the difference is between dreaming about something and actually having it? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not who you know or where you come from. The difference is this: your willingness to make your brain do things it desperately doesn't want to do. That's it. That's the secret that separates the people who make it from the people who spend their whole lives wondering what if. I want you to think about something right now. Think about that goal you have, that dream that keeps you up at night, that vision of who you could become if you just pushed yourself a little harder. Now tell me honestly, what's stopping you? Is it really that you can't do it? Or is it that your brain has convinced you that staying comfortable, staying safe, staying exactly where you are is somehow better than the struggle of becoming who you're meant to be? Your brain is incredible. It's the most sophisticated piece of machinery in the known universe. But here's what they don't tell you: your brain is also a liar. It's designed to keep you alive, not to make you great. It's programmed for survival, not for success. And every single time you try to do something hard, something that scares you, something that pushes you beyond your current limitations, your brain is going to fight you. It's going to tell you that you're tired, that you can't do it, that you should just wait until tomorrow, that you're not good enough, smart enough, talented enough. And if you listen to that voice, you will stay exactly where you are for the rest of your life. I grew up in a small town in India where nobody looked like me, got to do what I dreamed of doing. When I was a teenager, my mother entered me into a beauty pageant without even telling me. Can you imagine? I was studying, planning to become an engineer, living what I thought was my predetermined life, and then suddenly I'm thrust onto this stage, this platform that I never asked for, competing in Miss India. And I won. Then I went on to win Miss World at 17 years old. 17. Standing on that stage with a crown on my head, representing 1.3 billion people, having my entire life trajectory change in a single moment. But you know what? That wasn't the hard part. Winning wasn't the hard part. What came after was the hard part. Because winning that crown didn't make me an actress. It didn't give me talent. It didn't open doors magically. It just gave me an opportunity. And I still had to force myself to become someone capable of seizing it. I moved to Mumbai to pursue acting. And I was terrible. I mean, truly, embarrassingly bad. I didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to speak Hindi properly because I grew up speaking English. I didn't understand the film industry. I didn't have connections. And every single day, my brain would tell me, "You're an imposter. You don't belong here. Go back home where it's safe. You are just a beauty queen. You're not a real actress." But here's what I learned. The moment you start forcing your brain to do hard things, everything changes. Not immediately, not magically, but gradually, systematically. Your entire life transforms. Let me tell you what forcing your brain to do hard things actually means. It means waking up every single morning and doing the thing you least want to do. It means sitting in that acting class when you feel like the dumbest person in the room. It means showing up to that audition even though you've been rejected 15 times already. It means practicing your craft when everyone else is sleeping. It means choosing the hard conversation over the easy silence. It means doing your workout when your body is screaming at you to stay in bed. It means studying when you'd rather scroll through social media. It means creating when you'd rather consume. It means building when you'd rather relax. Your brain operates on a principle called neuroplasticity. This is the most exciting scientific discovery of our lifetime, and most people have no idea what it means for their potential. Neuroplasticity means your brain can literally rewire itself based on what you do repeatedly. The pathways you use the most become stronger. The pathways you don't use become weaker. This means that every time you force yourself to do something hard, you're not just accomplishing that one task, you're actually rebuilding your brain to make hard things easier in the future. Think about that. Every difficult choice you make is an investment in a future version of yourself who finds that choice easier. Every time you go to the gym when you don't want to, You're making it easier for future you to go to the gym. Every time you choose to study instead of scrolling, you're rewiring your brain to crave learning instead of distraction. Every time you have a difficult conversation instead of avoiding it, you're becoming someone who handles confrontation with grace. But the opposite is also true. Every time you give in to the easy choice, you're rewiring your brain to crave comfort. Every time you hit snooze, you're training your brain that your commitments are optional. Every time you choose scrolling over creating, you're becoming more addicted to consumption. Every time you avoid the hard thing, you're literally making it harder for yourself to do hard things in the future. So the question isn't whether you should force your brain to do hard things. The question is, what kind of brain are you building? What kind of person are you becoming with each small choice you make every single day? When I first came to Hollywood, I had to start over completely. Everything I had built in India, all the success, all the recognition, none of it mattered here. I was nobody again. Just another foreign actress with an accent, trying to make it in an industry that already had its stars, its system, its way of doing things. And let me tell you, being nobody after you've been somebody is one of the hardest mental challenges you can face. I remember sitting in my apartment in Los Angeles, watching American TV shows, trying to understand the culture, trying to neutralize my accent, trying to figure out how to even get an audition. And my brain was screaming at me every single day. You've already made it in India. You're a star there. Why are you subjecting yourself to this? Why are you starting from zero? Just go back. But I didn't go back because I understood something fundamental about how growth works. You cannot expand into your potential without first contracting into discomfort. You cannot become more without first feeling like less. You cannot rise to a new level without first accepting that you're going to be a beginner again. And this is where most people stop. This is where most dreams die. Not because people lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they cannot handle the psychological discomfort of being bad at something before they become good at it. They cannot force their brains to endure the beginner phase, the struggling phase, the phase where you work incredibly hard and see almost no results. I spent years auditioning and getting rejected. Years. Do you know what that does to your psychology? Every rejection feels personal. Every no feels like confirmation that you don't belong. And your brain starts collecting evidence. See, I told you this wouldn't work. Look at all these rejections. Look at how hard this is. This is a sign that you should give up. But here's the truth that changed everything for me. Your brain is terrible at interpreting what events mean. Absolutely terrible. It will take any piece of data and spin it into a story that confirms whatever belief you already have about yourself. If you believe you're not good enough, every rejection proves it. If you believe you're destined for greatness, every rejection is just part of the journey. So the battle isn't out there. The battle is in here between your ears. The battle is forcing your brain to interpret your experiences in a way that empowers you rather than defeats you. The battle is controlling the narrative, rewriting the story, refusing to let your primitive brain convince you that temporary discomfort means permanent failure. I finally got my first real Hollywood role in a TV show called Quantico. I became the first South Asian to headline an American network drama series. Do you think that happened because I was the most talented actress in Hollywood? No, it happened because I outlasted everyone else who gave up. It happened because I forced my brain to keep going when every logical reason said to stop. It happened because I made a decision that my dreams were more important than my comfort. And let me tell you what happened after that success. My brain immediately tried to convince me to stop there, to be satisfied, to coast on that achievement. Because your brain doesn't just resist hard things when you're struggling. It resists hard things when you're successful too. It says, okay, we made it. Now we can relax. Now we can stop pushing. But growth doesn't work like that. The moment you stop forcing yourself to do hard things is the moment you start declining. not staying the same, declining. Because everything in life is either growing or dying. There is no maintenance mode. There is no plateau where you can just hang out forever enjoying your past achievements. You're either pushing forward or sliding backward. So after Quantico, I could have relaxed. I could have just done more TV, taken the safe roles, enjoyed my success. But instead I forced myself into new hard things. I started a production company. I wrote a memoir. I became a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. I invested in technology companies. I launched businesses. Each one of these required me to become a beginner again, to feel incompetent again, to force my brain into new territories where I had no idea what I was doing. And you know what I discovered? The more you force your brain to do hard things, the more capable you become at doing hard things. It's like a muscle. The first time you go to the gym, you might struggle to lift 20 pounds. But if you keep forcing yourself to go, 6 months later you're lifting 50 pounds and it feels easier than 20 used to feel. Your capacity expanded. Your baseline changed. The same thing happens with your mental capacity. The first time you have a difficult conversation, it might take you 3 days to work up the courage. But if you keep forcing yourself to have difficult conversations, eventually you can have them without even feeling nervous. The first time you put yourself out there creatively, the fear of judgment might be paralyzing. But if you keep forcing yourself to share your work, eventually the fear becomes background noise. Your brain is constantly trying to create homeostasis to return to a comfortable baseline. But you get to decide what that baseline is. You get to decide what feels normal to you. And you decide that by consistently forcing yourself into the realm of discomfort until that discomfort becomes your new normal. I want to share something with you about failure. We have this completely backwards understanding of what failure means. We think failure is evidence that we're not capable. But failure is actually evidence that we're operating at the edge of our capabilities, which is exactly where growth happens. You cannot grow inside your comfort zone. Growth only happens when you're attempting things that are currently beyond your skill level. When I look back at my biggest failures, they were all moments where I was forcing my brain to do something hard. I failed an audition for a major Hollywood film early in my career, and I was devastated. I thought it meant I wasn't good enough. But what it actually meant was that I was pushing myself to compete at levels I hadn't reached yet. And every failure taught me something that made the next attempt better. Here's what most people don't understand about successful people. They don't succeed in spite of their failures. They succeed because of them. Every failure is your brain learning what doesn't work so it can figure out what does work. But only if you force yourself to keep going. If you quit after failure, all you've done is confirm your brain's worst fears. If you continue after failure, you teach your brain that failure isn't fatal. It's just information. Thomas Edison tried 10,000 different materials before he found the right filament for the light bulb. 10,000. Can you imagine how many times his brain told him to give up? Can you imagine the psychological fortitude it took to fail 9,999 times and still show up for attempt number 10,000? But he understood something crucial. He wasn't failing 10,000 times. He was learning 10,000 ways that didn't work. Your brain doesn't want you to think like that. Your brain wants you to interpret 3 rejections as proof that you should give up. Your brain wants you to see one failed business as evidence that you're not entrepreneurial. Your brain wants you to experience one difficult workout and decide that fitness isn't for you. Because your brain's job is to conserve energy and avoid pain, not to make you successful. So you have to override it. You have to become the CEO of your own brain instead of its employee. You have to take control of the narrative, the interpretation, the meaning you assign to your experiences. And this isn't about positive thinking or toxic positivity or pretending that hard things aren't hard. This is about choosing empowering meanings over disempowering ones. When you don't get the job, you can tell yourself, I'm not good enough and I never will be. Or you can tell yourself, this job wasn't the right fit and I'm one step closer to finding what is. Both of those interpretations are stories. Neither one is objectively true. So why would you choose the story that makes you weaker instead of the story that makes you stronger? Let me tell you about the morning routine that changed my life. I used to be someone who hit snooze 5 times, who dragged herself out of bed, who started every day already behind, already defeated. And I wondered why my life felt so hard, why I constantly felt overwhelmed, why I couldn't seem to get ahead. Then I realized I was losing the battle in the first 5 minutes of every day. The moment your alarm goes off, you're in a battle. Your brain wants to stay in bed. Your body wants more sleep. Everything in you wants to hit snooze. Just 5 more minutes. Just a little more rest. And if you give in to that voice, you've just taught your brain that your commitments are negotiable. You've started your day by breaking a promise to yourself. You've proven that when things get hard, you choose comfort. But if you force yourself to get up immediately, you've won the first battle of the day. You've proven to yourself that you're someone who does what they say they'll do, even when it's hard. You've set a precedent for the entire day. You've activated the part of your brain that's disciplined.